Hello everyone, welcome back to Flight Simulator X, and as you can see, we're going to be doing some winter flying today. We're sitting here on the ramp in Spirit of St. Louis, which is a municipal airport outside of Lambert, just to the actually it's to the west of it. But anywho, we're going to be flying up to Indianapolis today with a load of cargo, and we're probably expecting some IFR conditions, so it should be an interesting flight. All instrument. We're doing the Turbo 7 departure. And we're using the Decatur VOR instead of Adders, because Adders isn't in FSX. So we're using the Decatur VOR, and then we're going to head over to VHP, which is Brickyard in Indianapolis, and use that VOR. So we're going to be doing the Turbo 7, which is St. Louis. Basically, we can use the St. Louis VOR. We're not going to use it. We're going to go direct to Wooby, actually, WOOBI, and follow that intersection up, because we have on our GPS we can do RNAV. So we're going to do that. It's the closest thing to doing the Turbo 7 that we can do. So anywho, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Okay, so as we can see here, we are going to have quite a bit of cargo. We are taking a good amount up there. Total payload is about 4,690 pounds. I was going to take a little bit out of the tail just because I don't want it to deal. Let's go with about 300 pounds in zone 5. Cut it off right there. There we go. So about 4,140 today. So let's get on our way. Alrighty, so let's get this baby fired up here. Battery is coming on. Got our nav lights on, all that good stuff out there. Everybody seems happy. Good. Fuel quantity, we'll have to come over here and turn our inverter on so we can see that. It should just be about 1141 on each side. And it is about 1141 on each side as far as weight goes. So that's pretty much what we want. Beacon light is on. Generators are off. SRLs are on normal. Left bus, please. Shabam, bam, bam. There we go. On left bus. And we're clear to start the right engine. Maintain, keep an eye on this, just in case something goes wrong. We have to shut the engine down. Here's ignition. EGT, oil pressure, fuel flow's going up. And she continues to climb up like so. Alright, and the lights out. Alrighty, we can go ahead and fire up the left side as well. So let's get our generator on bus here. For the right side. And start number 1. There's our light. EGTs are rising. Fuel flow, oil pressure. That to go all the way up, and then the ignition light will come off. There we go. Ignition lights out. That looks good. Left generator on. Okay. We turn our fuel boosts on there. SAS servo can come on. Nose wheel steering can be armed. So we turn our SASs on. Like so. That's good. Flaps will do quarter for takeoff. Bleed air is on both. Dump that. Let's turn our avionics on. GPS coming live. For the radar, we want to paint it first. Turn these guys on. Let's turn our pitot heat on. We'll need that today. It is crazy. Turn our windshield heat on high. We'll need that as well. And we're ready to pretty much go to Indianapolis. Let's get our clearance real quick. We're not going to be using ATC clearance. We're just using them for departure and arrival. They'll let us out of here.
November 43, Fort Mike Alpha is cleared to Indianapolis Airport as filed. Fly runway heading, climb and maintain 5,000. Departure frequency at 126.5, squawk 72447. November 43, Fort Mike Alpha cleared to Indianapolis Airport as filed. Fly runway heading, climb and maintain 5,000. Departure on 126.5, squawk
weather radar, let's turn
Fort Mike Alpha,
on.
back correct. Contact ground on 121.7.
All right, let's call up ground for taxi on out of here.
Ground, November 43, Fort Mike Alpha, with Bravo, ready to taxi, IFR. November 43, Fort Mike Alpha, taxi 2 and hold short of runway 26, right to taxi.
26 right, Russ.
Contact tower on 124.75, we're ready.
Right. Only 126 left. Thank you.
Spirit ground, Fort Mike Alpha, request runway 26 left. November 43, Fort Mike Alpha, taxi 2 and hold short of runway 26 left, using taxiway to go, Bravo, Alpha, Alpha 1. Contact tower on 124.75, we're ready.
All right, we'll taxi over there.
Taxi 2 and hold short, runway 26 left, using
Taxi lights
to go,
on.
Alpha, Alpha 1, Fort Mike Alpha.
Windshield on. We'll turn the wipers on for now. Start off with here. I got my checklist in case I need it. Gone through all my pre-flight. I kind of skipped all that, so we didn't have to listen to all that crap. Assuming I'm on this side, so. I'm down here by 26 right. We gotta go all the way around to 26 left. So it'll be a long taxi. Suction, de-ice, and hydraulic pressure are normal. Takeoff power settings are gonna be set when we get ready to go. NTS is checked. Power system is off. Ignition switches are auto. Ice protection system is on. Fuel quantity checked at 1141 both side. Fuel crossflow valve is closed. Navigation equipment we just set. Interior lights are set. They're off actually. Don't need them. All right, clear for takeoff, and we got our navs and strobes on. Landing lights are on. Wing and anti-ice lights are on. And we can go ahead and turn our wiper off here. Let's get on our way to Indianapolis, shall we? Oh, right. So speed lever is going to come forward. That. And we can set our takeoff power. There she goes. Right there. Takeoff power set. Winds are pretty brutal. They're at 3015. And we're on an icy runway. 100 knots. And on V1, rotate. And we're up. There's our positive rate. Gear up. Trim set here for departure. Happy with that. Chair. Scared me a little bit there. Alright, we're going to bring our flaps up. Go ahead and make our turn towards Whoopi intersection, shall we?
Fort Mike Alpha, contact St. Louis departure on 126.5.
Or departure, see you next time.
126.5, Fort Mike Alpha.
I broke through that haze layer there for a little bit. Nice as we head over to Whoopi intersection. We need to track 048 to Whoopi. I think we can do that. Put up on her now, actually. There. Spirit of St. Louis Airport. We go on up. Okay, we're about 048 or so. Trim out of the airplane. Wants to climb pretty good, which is fine with me. We're back in IMC again. True IMC flying. Climb for 5,000 feet here. Initially. Once we cross 5,000, we'll go ahead and fly up to 18,000 feet, which is going to be our cruising altitude today. Nose forward a little bit more there. There we go. That's what we like to see. Shallow departure like so. I'd rather keep speed in the airplane right now until we get a little higher. So I'm watching my vertical speed. I don't want to really climb like a bat out of hell, because that increases our angle of attack, and I don't want to ever get near a stall situation in IMC. So we're just going to take our time. We don't have to deal with FSATC. We will turn TCAS on though, so we can monitor that. But we're not going to use default FSX ATC, because they're just going to make our life a miserable hell today. So, and if you're doing a SID, like we're doing to the turbo, we're doing the turbo 7 departure. You don't want FSX ATC, because they will royally screw you over. So we're gonna try to skip that. Yeah, I'm just monitoring my engine gauges. I'm monitoring everything. My vertical speed profile looks good. We're at 5,200 feet, so we can go ahead and increase our alerter up to 18,000 feet, and I'm going to go ahead and arm it so it'll let us know when we're 1,000 from it. Now keep an eye on our speed, keep an eye on our track. We're right on track to Whoopi, so not bad. Wonder when we're going to break out of this stuff. Oh, we're breaking out of it now. There you have it. Oh, nice. How beautiful is that? Down 100. Back on to Whoopi. Whoopi, Whoopi. Whoopi, Whoopi. Here we go. I wonder how high this freezing, or the snow is. We'll find out. So here we are on a departure out of St. Louis. That's the Missouri River there, meeting the Mississippi River. Down there, as you can see. And Lambert's off to our right down there under those clouds. So if you're wondering where we were, that's kind of where we're at right now. Wonder how high the snow is. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be about 8,000 feet or so, but we'll see. Well, we're crossing to 8,000 now, so yep. Look at that. I judged it perfect with the tops of those clouds that I read on the weather report. So there you have it. A lot smoother air up here. To 9,500 feet. Here in about 500 feet, we'll make our 10,000 feet. And we'll turn our landing lights off, and we'll do our climb profile. Let's just go ahead and, since we're coming through 10,000, about 10,000 right now, go ahead and flick our landing. Let's actually shift it off. Landing lights are going to come off. We can turn on, let's just go ahead and do the climb. Climb speed is attained. Water injection system, calories all off. Leader switches, we can turn those off now. I just wanted them on just in case we had something go wrong down there. Climb power is set. Prop stinker phaser switch, I moved to climb and cruise. Ignition switches are auto. Ice protection is on still. Cabin pressure scheduling is checked. crossing through about 16,200 feet now. Still on our way up towards 18,000 feet. We're about 42 miles from Whoopi intersection, which will be just to the southwest of Decatur, as in Decatur, Illinois. We're going to use that VOR. We'll pick it up. We'll just use it for DME purposes, but we're still going to fly our nav. We are also... Oh, also, that is the Adder's VOR, but it's been replaced. Now it's AXC, but in the simulator, it's the Decatur Delta Echo Charlie. So if you're wondering what the discrepancy was there on the Turbo 7 departure, that is what it is. If you look all the way off to the west, you can see the back side of that whole front system starting to come to an end as it moves through St. Louis and pushes on all the way off to the east. And there's been some pretty decent snow rates. Well, you saw the snow when we departed. But I mean, it was, you know, about up to 2 inches per hour. So pretty intense amount of snow. All right, we're coming upon 18,000 feet now, so we can go ahead and drop our nose down. And we'll pull our power back and set it for cruise power. Nothing too crazy. We want a nice speed here. Just my attitude indicator just a little bit. There we go. Make me happy. Alrighty, we're just cruising along here at 18,000 feet. And I just got the weather update in Indianapolis. Looks like we're looking at winds out of the north, about 350 at 16 knots. They're gusting to 27, so there's going to be a gusty arrival in there, that's for sure. Also, 3/4 to 2 miles of visibility. So not great visibility at all, but still decent enough. Light snow, broken overcast is 700, so that makes our minimums, because our minimums are going to be down to 500 feet. Altimeter is 2961 down there. Expecting some icing conditions probably coming in as well, and high winds, so it should be an interesting arrival into Indianapolis if we can get in. Hopefully the weather stays that good. I mean, if it's 700 overcast now, we'll shoot down to 500, and if we don't see the runway at 500, then we're kind of screwed. So want to make sure we do a good job with that. There's a couple airplanes over there getting ready to cross right by each other. He's way up there. Right about, I'd guess probably about 30-something thousand feet or so. A lot higher than us. That is for sure. I'm hoping once we make our right turn and we head towards the east, we should get a little bit of help from that 300 wind from the northwest, and should push us a lot quicker than we are already doing. Ground speed wise, we're doing not doing terrible, but we were doing, let's check real quick. Nope. At 135 knots over the ground, so not very, very fast. Alrighty, there's the switch. Let's head over to Decatur. We want 085, so we're gonna dial 085 in on the radial. We want about right there, and then we'll fly the VOR in nav mode here. 27 miles from it. There's that traffic still up there. He's headed off to the east coast as well. So we're gonna keep turning to the right, and we're gonna intercept this VOR. Alrighty, that VOR needle is starting to move now, so we're going to follow it and track on to the VOR needle. Yeah, I'm turning left slightly onto it as that green line comes back around, and it's going to meet onto the arrow. 17 miles from Decatur VOR. Once we cross Decatur VOR, we'll probably go back to RNAV for a little bit, and then until we pick up Brickyard. We might pick up Brickyard, actually, because it's high altitude. There we are, coming up on that green arrow like so. Now we'll turn left on all the way onto it. It's all about nice, easy movements on the yoke, so we don't have to chase that needle back and forth. So the GPS disagrees. We're not like 100% on it, but I think we're doing fine. All right, so as we get closer to this VOR, the Decatur VOR actually, you're gonna notice that the green arrow down there on the HSI is gonna start getting a little more sensitive. So I'm just gonna hold right here. This is fine for now. We are due on the course to run the 085 radial to the VOR. But as we get closer to it, now we're about 8 miles there. As we get closer to it, you're gonna notice how it's gonna start to seem like we're getting off course, but we actually aren't. When you get closer to a VOR, the needle gets a lot more sensitive because you're a lot closer to it. So once it goes, it'll go all the way to the left-hand side or right-hand side. Looks like it's gonna go to the left, and once it does, then we'll see that. Pretty neat. You can see that airplane way off our nose out there. He just used that VOR, the Decatur VOR, about 6 miles. He's about 6 miles or so ahead of us, where you see that change in the contrail. So he's up a lot higher than us, but he was using the same VOR, so that's pretty cool. And I made that mod. I released it on AvSim, if you guys don't know. If you look up my name, Jeff Aviano, it should pop up, but it's like Contrails something, FSX Contrails. And it just makes the contrails about 30 to 50 miles. I forget what I said it. I think about 50 miles or so long. So it's a lot more realistic looking contrails. You can see that airplane way off in the distance flying along, and you can see his contrail all the way back. A lot more realistic than what the default contrails are. They're not that good. Swap him over. Some swap-agins. There we go. 114 miles. It is a high altitude at VOR. I thought it was. Couldn't remember it 100%. So they want us to be 090. Looks like it's going to be the preferred track to it. So we'll do the 090 radial to Brickyard VOR, which is just a few clicks on the course to the right. Bam, 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 like so. We're just a little to the left of it. So let's go ahead and correct onto that and fly the VOR. It's good to have two sets of navigation. I mean, we can fly the GPS, but we also can use the VOR. The VOR helps us with the DME. DME is distance measuring equipment, which is part of the VOR, and it lets us know how far away we are. That's what that 111.3 is down there, telling us we're 111 miles out. So quite a few more miles to go, but we're getting closer. Alright, we're about 60 miles or so out, so we're gonna go ahead and begin our descent down to the ground. So let's go ahead and first descend to 8,000 feet. A lot of air traffic up here, as you can see. Busy skies. Everybody rushes around this storm system that has created so much snow down there. Let's go ahead and talk to, just for the hell of it, see what they do. Say.
Indianapolis Center, November 43, Fort Mike Alpha, is up 150, Fort 50. November 43, Fort Mike Alpha, Indianapolis Center, Roger, altimeter 2984, US Air 443, contact Chicago Center on 123.85, Fort Mike Alpha, you are 63 miles west, turn right heading 145, descend and maintain 3000, expect vectors ILS, runway 5, left approach. Turn right heading 115, descend and maintain 3000, expect vectors ILS, runway 5, left approach, Fort Mike Alpha.